Welcome to 7 Questions with Amr, where we answer your real estate questions. Whether you are new to real estate or a seasoned investor, this video is for you. Well, the first thing that you should do is hire a real estate agent. Working with an experienced agent can streamline the process. They can handle marketing, buyer negotiation, and document processing. After that, you should obtain the NOC, the non-objection certificate. It's issued by the developer. The NOC is required to confirm that there are no pending payments or obligations tied to the property. It's essential for finalizing the sale. After we find the buyer, a memorandum of understanding is signed, which is details of the agreement and the agreed terms and conditions of the sale. Transfer process after that is where the buyer and the seller meet at the trustee office to finalize the property transfer. The buyer must pay DLD fees, which are 4%, along with some admin fees. Yes, you can sell your property with a mortgage. The process generally involves obtaining a liability letter from your bank, confirming the remaining mortgage balance, and clearing the mortgage using either the buyer's fund or an advance payment. The new buyer may have to settle your mortgage amount directly with your bank or finance it through their mortgage provider. Yes, you can sell a property that is currently tenanted. The new buyer must honor the existing tenancy contract, allowing the tenant to stay until the contract expires. Unless the buyer intends to use the property personally, then a 12 months notice period must be provided. To flip an off-plan property, you generally need to fulfill a minimum payment, often 30 to 40% of the property total value, before reselling it. You should also confirm with the developer if flipping is permitted and if there are any transfer restrictions. So some developers may have some transfer fees. This is a very important question because currently the Dubai real estate market is booming. We're getting an all-time high after an all-time high, which is great, but sometimes it gives the buyers a full sense of exaggerated amount of what they can get for their property. So yes, the market is going up, property value is going up, but there are also other things to consider, like the location, like the amenities, like the condition of the property. So what you should do is check the current transactions that are going on in the community where your property is, and you should consult a real estate agent that understands the market, specialize in the community where you're trying to sell your property, and he can give you a very good price point to where you should put your property. In Dubai, off-plan and secondary market properties offer unique advantages and considerations, especially for buyers with different goals, such as investment, rental yield, or long-term residency. So off-plan properties, by off-plan we mean the properties that are not ready yet. They're sold by the developer either before or during construction. Those properties have some advantages like lower initial costs. So off-plan properties often require smaller down payments and come with payment plans to make them more affordable upfront. They also have potential for capital appreciation. So buying at launch or early stages can yield a very high resale value if the area develops or if the property demand rises by completion. They also have modern features. So off-plan properties often feature the latest in design, amenities, and sustainability standards. Sometimes developers will give you promotions and waivers, like 4% DLD fees might be waived. Sometimes they will give you free service charge for a period of time. There are some considerations, however, to off-plan properties. So you have completion risk. There is always the risk of delays or project cancellation. So working with a reputable developer is crucial, and longer wait time. Buyers might wait for years before moving in or reselling or even getting their rental yield from their property. You also have some resale restrictions. So some developers impose restrictions on flipping this property until a certain percentage of the price has been paid. Now for secondary market, and by secondary market we mean buying from an owner, not from the developer, in a property that's ready. The advantages of that is the immediate ownership and occupancy. You can just buy the property, live in it, or rent it out and start getting money right after purchase. Those properties are in established communities, so secondary properties are often in fully developed neighborhoods with access to existing infrastructure and amenities and community services. You can negotiate the price in secondary market. You have some room for price negotiations, especially if the sellers are motivated. And you have very low risk because there is no completion risk. Since the property is complete, there is no risk for construction delays or project cancellations. There are some considerations, however, to take in account, which are higher upfront costs. Usually, if you're a mortgage buyer, you need at least 20% available in cash of the property price. The properties might be older and not as good of condition as new projects, depending on the age and the previous use. There is also some fees that you'd have to pay, such as DLD and agency fees. As I mentioned earlier, they both have their own advantages and considerations. It depends on your goal. If you're looking for immediate rent, immediate yield, you should go for secondary market. If you are looking for long-term investment, you should consider off-plan. Overall, the sales process typically takes between 30 to 40 days, but it can vary depending on mortgage clearance, NOC issuance, and other factors. This has been 7 Questions with Amr. Thank you for joining me, and see you next time.